Good evening, all of you. Thank you for joining this next in the series of the webinar for planning for the unplanned. We will pray for the well-being for all of you so that we know that we all are together strong in 2021 and the years to come also. Okay. So as we discussed in the last webinar, we'll be discussing more about on marketing specific activities which we would have done or which we can plan to do in the month to come. As the NEET result is, as the NEET examination date has also been announced, so we know that which are the months where target market is going to be, and when we should start our planning, because now it's good that we got almost now 2 months of our time for all of us to prepare and to make sure that we are making inroads into our target market. And I'm sure that after the last discussion which we had, a lot of you would have already started your activities by trying to build the trust within your own target group so that that can give you a better result also. I would really like to say this, because based upon the experience and interaction with the students or the prospective students which we have been from India till date, as well as from other countries also, there are still a lot of interest for overseas education, but yes, travel is a constraint. So we will look into exactly how without the travel this academic semester can be concluded, so that next academic semester our students will be well enough into the campus also. So we'll talk more on all those aspects. Let's try to focus up today's discussion on how to use database and how database can be a gold mine for our in our business. So as we all know, that we have been collecting databases for the last so many years. And we being into the business in the industry for last so many years, we have collected almost not less than somewhere around 500,000 to 1 million database in the last 5 to 6 years itself. For the leads which we have been generating through either through our digital marketing campaign, our database procurement, we have been doing through multiple sources to multiple vendors, and so to a lot of other sources we have been accumulating databases. uh, Databases, exactly, if we are not using it effectively, it is just a waste. Just imagine a scenario, someone giving me 1.2 or 1.3 lakh database of PCB student of a particular state. What I'm going to do with that? I can't allow a telecaller, let's say a set of telecallers, to sit down and just make calls to them. Or is that going to help me? Calling cost is also going to be expensive, plus I need to give a salary on the calling of all the person who was going to call also. So what are the other ways in which we can use a database? Now this is for the current year. What about the previous year databases what we have? Let's say if we have a database of 2019 and 2018, not everyone would have got an admission. Not everyone would have got an admission or gone outside the country to do the medical program. But they may be still be a prospective client for us. In that case, how are we going to use that database is very, very important, because we feel that sometimes that we may have already exhausted the database by doing the activities on it. Maybe by doing the calling, by doing the SMS, by doing the WhatsApp broadcast, we would have done it exactly. But still, not 100% of them have converted into a customer. So it is very empirical to understand that database currently is still a gold mine which we can use and reuse till a time which we know it will be giving us the result. I can bet for you that even for the last 2 years we have been doing marketing at Texila also through multiple sources, but still we have been getting payments and confirm admissions from the database which we have secured in 2018 and 2019. Even just yesterday, Navneet got few payments for the September 2020 intake for the students for a medicine program to go to Guyana, and that are also through database. So it's all about how to use it effectively. That's one. And how we can have a better return of investment also on the database activity which we can plan to do. So let's see, we have defined some of the activities here what we can do on database, because it is just a form of direct marketing which we are going to use to connect with our potential customers. Let's understand one very important point. We feel that all know us. Maybe, let's say if I'm in Coimbatore, or let's say, or if I am in Bangalore, if I am in Delhi, Mumbai, any other city, we may feel that we are one of the top class associate consultancy. We may be one of the top class university in this part of the world, but we may still not be known to all our target segment. So that is what database can help. This is a method of communication which can we can be addressable by any medium exactly and can be used as a direct marketing. So we have to see how we are going to use it up. Some of the points, basically some of the important things which we feel are useful for the database marketing. There is a big debate going on whether we should do database marketing or whether we should do a Google campaign or a Facebook campaign. I'm still telling it to you that the current impression rate of a Google campaign for abroad education still is less in most of the target segment. That is leading to a higher cost per lead. If you are having low impression, that means that there is a low search volume. If there's a low search volume, that means for one specific lead also there will be multiple competitors who will be fighting for each other. That means it will automatically increase your cost per lead. So because we were just doing some tests 2 days back also in India and other countries, let's say in Nigeria, South Africa, Zimbabwe also, we still realize that the impression is less. Impression is less into a digital campaign, that means on Facebook and Google. Why? Because the search may be less. As of now, still people are searching more on how to come out of lockdown or how to do nice baking in a lockdown. That is one of the trending topic nowadays. When you're in the house, you just keep on preparing more bread or cakes. So these are more searchable topic nowadays than MBBS abroad online. So is it worth enough to go and give some money to some marketing agency to still get us some leads so that we can convert them to a program? Maybe we can spend somewhere around more than $10 or $12 on getting a lead itself. So we will go on the benefits of database marketing itself. So some of the benefits of database marketing are: one, it will identify your user group. What is happening if you are doing a PPC campaign, though you are setting your campaign dynamics, okay, on Google or on other digital platform, still you may get spillover in the campaign and you may not reach your exact target group. But if I am having a PCB database of, let's say, Delhi NCR, then I know all of them are going to be my potential customers. All of them are going to be a doctor to be, right? So that means it will help me to identify the user group. It will build detailed user segment. Now within that database, let's say if I am looking into that, which all schools or which all areas where the students are residing are having better paying capacity. So I'll focus more on that. So I can do user segmentation, then I can do multiple activities on that. Then I can create personalized messages. You can send them individualized or personalized SMS. You can send them personalized WhatsApp messages, which is having a human touch rather than all looking into a suspicious with a suspicious eye at Google or Facebook that this is an ad, let's just ignore it because they just want to make the money. So it can help you to create some personalized messages. It will determine the best channel and the time to engage. If you are mixing database with other digital platform, you have a better chance to engaging with your potential customer. And it will optimize your return of investment, ROI. That is very, very important now in the current scenario, that we don't burn out our cash everywhere, wherever you want. And then it can help you to make loyalty programs. As I discussed in the last interaction also, this is a time where we should use each and every contact what we have as a referral so that they can advise someone to you as a potential customer and make sure that contact is getting some benefit out of it. Okay. And then it can improve your customer service also, because you can always be in one-to-one touch with the target segment. So there are some of the benefits of database marketing. Coming to the next point, exactly that what are we going to do in this thing? If you look into, and most of your marketing and sales communication passes through these 4 stages: awareness, consideration, conversion, and retention. So the wider the funnel, because once you are at let's say if I'm saying if I'm only having a 12th grade PCB database, there is a wider funnel. In that funnel, it is only at a cold stage. At a cold stage, not everyone is aware about you or your offerings. So at this point of a time, we need to do a campaign which can create awareness about our product and about our program and the university and the country to all our target group. Once you have created an awareness, then you go to the warm stage of consideration. In the consideration, then you talk about mainly what are the unique selling points of your program which you are offering. What are the price factors? Let's say if you are having one associate in Delhi NCR, one associate in Lucknow, the other associate, let's say in Bangalore or in Chennai. Okay, it's an open world. You can have inquiry coming from anywhere. So what are you offering additional to all your target group? We can discuss in this consideration stage. Then comes to conversion. In the conversion stage, it is very, very important because a user now or a target group now by now have already thought of to make a decision. He devoted a time to read about you. He devoted a time to read about the programs you're offering. Now he's looking further to make a purchase. How can he make a purchase? Only if you are able to convince him that he is going to get a better value of money. That is a conversion. That requires a lot of human touch. So databases can be used for any of these four stages. Once a person has been converted into a customer, then you go into retention. Retention means you talk about, can you give me a referral? I can help you make some money, right? It's more about exactly, okay, fine. If you have a colleague, friend, if you have a friend who is also having a son looking forward to become a doctor, okay, you recommend it to me, him to me, and convince him to join the same university. I'm going to get you some this kind of a benefit from my end so that it can benefit in your fee paying. So this is known as retention. This is one of the key thing which is going to happen this year all across the market. So our database marketing mainly targets user group in all the four stages, whether it is an awareness stage, consideration stage, conversion stage, and retention stage. So we have to always ensure that the marketing and the sales communication which you are doing in any of these stages are inclined or are in sync with the target group. We could not talk about the unique selling point of our program in the awareness stage when they don't know about, let's say, ABC University or any particular consultancy. So at that point of a time, you have to talk about you. You have to talk about the you as being as an interested service provider for MBBS abroad in that particular territory. Once they have trusted you, they come to you in the consideration phase where you talk about the unique selling point of the program you're offering in terms of vis-a-vis competitors, in terms of vis-a-vis with the comparison and a better return of investment. And then you go to conversion where you can convince him, you can ask him to make the payment, and you go for reselling and retention. So all our communication has to be very, very clear. Sub jagas, all the places, you cannot just put up an SMS or a WhatsApp talking about admission 2020 ongoing, okay, at Texas American University, scholarship available, call this number to get more detail. That is also not possible because everyone is not going to get this kind of they are going to get this kind of information at most of the places. So they will be not inclined to read your message or to even click on the bit link you are giving or call you back. So you have to make sure that when you are doing database marketing, first start with awareness. If they don't know you, then go to consideration, conversion, and retention. It's very, 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 very important. Even if you go into any a big B school, they also talk the same thing. Okay, but what are the do's of database marketing? The do's of database marketing, the most important thing is database maintenance. Database maintenance talks about mainly that, are you discarding the databases which are not used? Or let's say if you have a database and you already have few numbers which are on DND and you keep on sending SMS to it or keep on calling SMS, calling that number, it is not correct. So you should always keep on removing all those databases which you feel may not be useful for any further campaigns. That maintenance is very, very important. Build out your prospect and the customer list. I know anyone who is going to take the NEET this year is my hot prospect. I'll remove it. I'll keep it separate. I'll make sure that I do priority campaign on them a less priority campaign or a different campaign on the previous year databases. Then we have to organize it. Let's say organize basically you have to keep your databases segregated. Let's say if we have a database of 12 standard signs, that signs can be PCM also, PCB also, or PCMB also. So we have to understand that which database is going to be useful for me, so that it's handy. I can just click on it, I can get it. This is my first set of a database to be used. And then make sure that you can do a proper campaign tracking. I had a few of my friends who did SMS campaign all across country last year, and but unfortunately they were not able to get any result exactly. What I realized after doing an analysis of this, it may be that it was all about we were not able to track the campaign which was giving you the result and which was not giving you the result. If I'm sending an SMS to a set of a database, I will wait forward for it. I will look into the report, how many delivered, how many clicked on my bit link, okay, and then how out of that how many clicked, how many of them submitted a document or paid in the application fee, and how many became customer. If I'm having a particular set of a database which is having a higher conversion rate, I'm going to focus more on that. So in that case I need to do campaign tracking. Or if I have a set of a database which worked better on WhatsApp or better on custom audience whenever doing on Facebook and Google, then I'll work more on that. So that is what I want to do. So I can get that if I have a report which I always maintain for all the database in terms of how has the previous campaign or the current campaign performed on it. So that I don't just blindly go and send SMS to everyone, or blindly go and send WhatsApp to everyone, or just give it to anyone to give a call. So that is also not correct. Okay. So once we do these things, then we are making sure that we always have a better result. But how will you do campaign tracking? Because if you are just sending an SMS with a phone number, depending upon the number of calls which is coming to you, only you can track. But the number on which you are getting a call, that may be a public number, and you may be getting other calls also on that number, then you cannot do a proper campaign tracking. So the best way is that use unique number for a specific campaign. That's one thing. Second thing is that use bitlink. Bitlink means exactly they are shortened URL of landing pages which you can use. Maybe you can create a microsite or a small web page, okay, which may only have a data capture option into it. Talks about mainly about, okay, what is your name, what is your father's name, phone number, father's phone number, and what is your NEET score, and these are basic details which you can collect, okay, with some USP of the program on that particular landing page. And so if anyone receives the message, tap on that bit link, he comes to your landing page. Once he comes to your landing page, you have a lot of ways in which you can capture the detail. And once they have converted that into a lead for you, that means into an inquiry for you, that is the best source how you can track. Okay, then you all know that, okay, for every campaign I can have a unique landing page which is giving me an outcome. So I know which database is performing better for me. So campaign tracking is very, very important. And it's not that all to be sent messages for all the program, all to be sent messages for every time. That should not be there. And you should ensure that you do a proper campaign tracking to know what is working good for you in your particular territory or in your particular target segment for a particular program. Okay. And make sure you remove the customer data at least once a quarter. I would say at least once a month rather than saying only once a quarter. Okay, because it should not be the case that to the same customer you are sending up the message once and every time. So if a lead has become a customer, remove it from the database so that the messages should not go back to him again. There's some of the important things which you should also understand in terms of what we should not do on database marketing. One, definitely don't keep the leads on your desk. Okay, make sure that if you have a CRM which you are maintaining, or you have any database management tool, let's say a lot of you person you will be using Google Excel sheet or Google Sheet or any other software, make sure all those leads are being properly entered into the desk with the proper comment, so that it's become very easier for you to track in the future. Don't take an advantage also. As I told you, in the last few webinars also, in the current scenario, if you are trying to do a posting sale, where all the students are still unsure about the need when it was going to be conducted until the last webinar, or when the admission counseling is going to start, and you keep on pushing them to get a sale, it's not going to work out. Nobody is going to believe on you. Nobody is going to sacrifice their career, or come to this point of a time to take a decision. So it is very, very important that we ensure that we don't take advantage of the databases what we have. Only we send them the messages which we feel are relevant at that point of a time. At this point of time, what is relevant to our target group is relevant to our target group, that they are not going to lose their one academic year, isn't it? Because they still will be quite sure what NEET result will come, what NEET result will not come. Will they get a government seat or private seat in India? Will they not get a government seat in India? All those questions, those usual questions will be in the mind of a parent and a student. Okay. And they will also think exactly, as a NEET examination is getting delayed, that means the result is not at all going to come before August. That means the counseling is not going to be completed by October. So are the foreign universities still going to wait for me till the month of October or December? All those loss of academic year fear will be there in the mind of the parents. So we have to make sure that all our communication are there very clearly at this point of a time to our target group and to our parents, that no, they are not losing their year. The academic year remains same, and they will be in a safer hand. They can still clear, if they get admitted this year, they can still be a successful doctor in 2025. So that's a take exact. That's one point. What further we can communicate to them now? We can communicate to them now further regarding how they can get better grades or in NEET. The second thing. Third, we can communicate to them now, what if they don't get a better grade in NEET? What are the scopes for them? So these are some of the things which we can communicate to them, which are more educative, more counseling, rather than only selling. So that will be a best thing to communicate, so that we should not take advantage, because at this point of a time, being humane is the best form of marketing communication. Anything which goes for strict selling don't work in that way. Okay. Then third point is, we should not end up just having a great database by not doing anything. I may have a billion database, but I'm not doing anything on it. What is the point? Right. So I may have a database with me, which I feel that I cannot do anything for now. Nada, I'm going to give it to someone who can do it for me. I'm talking about give it to us. We can do something for you in that way. So it's very simple, that just don't have it. Having it's the same thing, that okay, I have a treasure with me. It's down somewhere in some pyramid, some other place. Exactly, but I cannot use it. So it's better use it. Don't just have it. There are a lot of database marketing tool which you are, all of you are already aware of. SMS you all are doing, WhatsApp you all are doing, mailers you all are doing. Unfortunately, mailers are having the lowest response rate in the undergraduate program selling, because most of the students, most of the parents, they don't check the mails also at that point, this point of a time. Facebook, yes, it looks very very fancy to us, but it's very hard to say whether result or not. And then IVRS, a lot of us are not using IVRS. We use IVRS quite predominantly in all our marketing campaign. It's basically an automated interactive voice response system. It's mainly about, you must be also getting nowadays, few days back also you may have got some messages regarding from PM Modi talking about some lots of things when the elections were going on. Similarly, you may get some message from a lot of companies which talks about press 1 for this, press 2 for this, press 3 for this, press 4 for this. So they are all IVRS campaigns which you can do. The same companies which are doing SMS will be doing IVRS also. So they can help you in doing this. Apart from this, we can use some custom audience campaign on Google also, based upon our specified set of a customer that can help. But these are some of the things which can use in combination too. In combination too, such as I'm talking about, let's say if you are sending an SMS, in an SMS, if you want to send up some join group notification for further communication, you can send that, which we have been doing in most of the webinars we are doing nowadays. When we are sending SMS, we are sending you a join group invitation also. so that once you click on that join group, you come and join us on a WhatsApp group, and then we communicate with you further. Exactly. So you must use this link, a blend of these things. You can use a blend of Facebook with WhatsApp. That is working very fine nowadays. Let's say if you're running a Facebook closed group campaigns, then in that case you can join it with WhatsApp, so that the moment a lead has been captured, it will automatically send you a join group notification on your WhatsApp. You tap on it and you join the group automatically with some automated bot messages if you're using a business account. So that thing is there. So you can use a combination of that. If you struggle, if you find problem in using any of these things, then you can, we are always there for your assistance. We can assist you how you can use a combination of Facebook and WhatsApp, SMS and WhatsApp, how you can use. IVRS is a standalone platform which you can work. We have learned a lot by doing IVRS campaign in the last so many years, depending upon the user behavior, because there are a lot of chances. Exactly, it's a human tendency to press the first button. So if you are having an option, press 1 to say yes, I want to take an admission, you'll find that everyone is pressing 1. When you're calling them back, you will realize that they may have pressed that accidentally. So you have to be quite careful in designing your or recording your IVRS messages, so that you play or you work as per the human tendency. That is very, very important. So these are some of the tools which you can use for database marketing. Coming to SMS, as already I discussed with you, SMS definitely you can use. But if I'm coming to this SMS part, I will go back to my previous slide of awareness, consideration, conversion, and retention. If you are doing SMS for an awareness campaign, you have to make sure that you have a relevant message which you are sending to your target group on the database. Otherwise, if you are sending only admission open, I'm telling you, to the moment the NEET exam is coming here, you all know what is going to happen. Everyone is going to get an SMS, because we may have already done some lot of inquiries at a lot of places, and everyone is going to send you an SMS about a university with some package or something like that. So in so many messages, you don't read. Nowadays, even the read rate of or open rate of the SMSs are also reducing because of the season also. So message what you are sending, the first set of the text which is visible to the user is very, very important. If the first set of the text which is visible to the user talks only about selling, about the product, definitely the chances are there that they may not tap on it to open that message, or they can just swipe and delete it. So the first set of a text which you are mentioning, if you are mentioning it relevant to basically interest of interest of how you want to work it up exactly, or interest of the target group, it will be much more better. So it will help you in that part. Okay, then if you are sending messages for an already interested, let's say one set of a customer has already expressed, sorry, one set of a target group have already expressed the interest or have already known about your consultancy and about the university which you are selling, then the next set of messages is about consideration. In the consideration, you talk about the benefits they are going to get vis-a-vis the target competition you are going to get in the target in that particular territory. So that message has to be very, very clear. So just make sure that whatever messaging which you are doing is following that top the funnel, middle the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel communication. If you're not following, there are high chances you may just burn out cash by sending message and nobody is going to read that. And ensure that you are having a tracking. If you are not having a tracking mechanism, you may lose out, and every time you'll end up sending 100,000 messages to everyone without even knowing which SMS is going to give you better result. Okay. Coming to interactive voice response system, I will not repeat whatever I have told you, but as I told you that there are SMS service providers, there are same service providers who will be giving you this IVRS services also. Just make sure IVRS recording are being done quite professionally. Okay, it's not important that the voice is always going to be of a Shahrukh Khan or Amitabh Bachchan. You can have voice for any other person also, there's no problem, but the voice should look should sound mature. That's one thing. Second thing, the tempo, that means the speed of the message which you are sending in an IVRS has to be has not to be too fast, so that at least the user who is listening to your IVRS is following the instruction properly. Okay. Third thing is use the language which is the native language of that particular territory. Okay, because it may be a case that it may not be too wise to do an English IVRS in Bengal. It will be always better to do an in Bengali IVRS in Bengal, right? This is similarly, if you are doing an IVRS in Tamil Nadu, it is better to do an IVRS in Tamil language rather than doing only in English language. So you have to have that research data with you, that in which territory, which language you are going to use for IVRS. Once you have done that, then the third part is what should be the message which you are going to have in the IVRS. Hardly you get 30 seconds to 1 minute of messaging which a user may be willing to listen. There are a lot of chances user will just hang up the phone and not listen to your complete message. Even I get a lot of time, Airtel will keep on calling you this promotion, that promotion, Tata Sky and all these are calling you exactly. So do you listen to those messages? No, you don't listen to those messages. So what you start, the message what you have in the starting is always going to increase the impulse curve. That means the excitement level of your listener, and it can bind the listener to stay till the end of the message. Is very, very important. So keep that in mind. Once you have done that, then fourth thing is exactly how do you select the options. When you are talking about options, that should we just use the first key on the keypad of a phone to get a response for yes, he is interested. Okay, if you are doing that, it's a human tendency to press the first key first. So you will not get a proper response, and ultimately you will end up wasting your money, because IVRS is slightly expensive than the SMS campaign. So just make sure that, okay, I always prefer to use 3 or 5, okay, as an option which is for affirmative response. Okay, and then you can use some other option. Let's say you can use 7 or 8. Don't use a sequence of a number. If you're using a serial of sequence of a number, then pressing 7, 8, 9, 10 is very easy. 7, 8, 9, 0 is very easy. So at least use the numbers in the IVRS response which can increase listeners activity. Okay, if a listener is able to do an activity, that means he is following the instruction which you are giving in an IVRS. Otherwise it will be a response which will not be a fruit for you. So these things are important in the IVRS messaging which we are doing. If you follow this, you always have a better result. This we have learned a lot by doing. We have been doing hundreds of IVRS campaigns across the world every year. So we have learned a lot about this. So that's why we thought to share this all knowledge with you all, so that you can use it for your business. And we'll love if you use it for giving business to us. Okay, coming to next point is about email marketing. We have been using this email marketing a lot, but you all know that the email delivery to click rate or delivery to open rate is also very less. I mean, delivery rate itself is very less. So, but how can you have an effective email marketing? That's one point. We may be, there are certain part of the certain territories of the country in India also where email marketing works better. Mainly for the post-graduation program, for some places for the undergraduation program also. But just sending up a bulk email with a host of text mess into it, is it going to work? No, it doesn't work. We don't read. Just imagine put yourself into the shoes of your target segment. That will you read that kind of a mails which have been coming to you from so many nowadays? Already in this lockdown, there's so many spam mails coming up across. And now, yeah, good point. So this point of a time where most of the users or most of the online are already bombarded with a lot of spam mails which they are getting nowadays. Every day they have been getting a lot of spam mails. Is it good enough to send an email is one point. Second point is that what is the guarantee that your delivery rate is going to increase when you send an email? There are only one thing which I have learned in the email campaign is your subject line has to be different. It must be different, which should attract the reader to click on it and then read at least the first paragraph of your message, because there are numerous scientific evidences which shows that people don't scroll through the mail. They will read the first paragraph of the mail content. If they find it something relevant and interesting, they scroll it down. Otherwise, say it's a marketing mail, they will not even join, they will not even think about it. Okay, so your for your first sorry, your subject line of the mail is very, very important. Subject line must touch upon the pain point of your prospect. What is the pain point now in terms of our industry? They should not lose the year. Second pain point, I don't want to send my child outside now, but still I want him to make him a doctor, right? So there are some of the pain points which are coming up exactly. So how are you going to touch those pain points in the email subject, on your WhatsApp message, on your SMS message is very, very important. Don't use special characters or smileys or icons in your subject line. Okay. And if you are using certain specific tool, there are certain lot of free tools also available online. Please make sure that you go for spam check. That means you can copy the mail content with the subject line there on those tools, and you can check whether those mails are going to go to the spam of the user's inbox or no. So you should check the spam check. You should go for Grammarly checking, exactly check the grammar of the mail. That is very, very important. Okay, so if you are able to check all those things, and the language check, if you check these things and they are getting a better score, then you send an email. Then definitely, if you are having a 0.5% increase into a delivery and open rate also, you have made your day. So that's very important, that you must follow these things. Then what should be there in the first paragraph of your mail content? The first paragraph of the mail content definitely should not talk about selling of the program. It must talk about that what is your problem. Imagine a scenario, you are getting a mail, it talks about that you know that you are having a less earning nowadays, and you are already in a fix of a problem because the need has been delayed, but I'm going to provide you a solution by making sure that you don't get trapped into any scam. It encourages my excitement. Okay, let me read, how is it going to help me out, right? So there are some of the things basically which you have to ensure in your marketing communication when you are sending in the first paragraph. Once you have done that, then definitely you can build upon your conversation. These are basic things of your marketing communication which you have to always remember. If you are following these things, it will work. Then you must embed CTA, that is call to action, either button or any link at different places of your mail. Okay, it should not only come at the end of the mail, because we all know the chances that the user may not read the mail till the end of your mail content. So you must have a call to action, that is CTA, at different part of your mails. Okay, that CTA can be a link to join WhatsApp group. That CTA can be a link to go on your website to make an inquiry. Never ever give the link to come only on the homepage of your website, because user will be lost. Okay, so you should have a page where they should land, so that you can collect inquiry there. So they should land there first, and what they want to read, everyone want to read, how are you going to solve my problem? That's it. If your communication, if the first communication which they are reading, how are you going to solve my problem, I have made my day, I will read it, at least I will make an inquiry. Then what is the intention? To get a prospect, you got a prospect. Okay, so make sure that you follow these things. There are tons of materials available online. There are a lot of things exactly how you can communicate, how you can write. Basically we should look into how we what also, that how we do what we do and why we do, all those things are there. So if you're following into these things, that how what you want to place where, then you can have a communication. Simple thing, we were having some Harvard case study in the last few sessions exactly, and I think you all may be knowing our president, Mr. Saju Bhaskar, and our executive vice president, Mrs. Chitra Lakshmi. They both are Harvard alumni, and they have been sending a lot of Harvard materials to us also to study. So it's all about how you want to communicate. So first we'll talk about, we believe in making you a successful doctor. We know that you are scared of losing an academic year, but this is what we can do for you. Do you want to, or are you ready to become a doctor? Something this kind of a communication which directly hits on the pain point of the customer. So make sure you have these kind of a communication designed. Then come to the next part, exactly where we are talking about WhatsApp. As I already told you, the WhatsApp is a good tool, WhatsApp is a bad tool also, both the ways. Definitely you cannot just keep on blasting messages here. There are a lot of restrictions. We have to make sure that we don't fall a trap of it. Neither we should become an admin of any group where there are a lot of communication going on, and then again you have knocking off some police coming at your home. So please make sure that we use this tool very, very effectively. And it's always better to use a combination of WhatsApp with other tools, such as with SMS or with email or through Facebook, so that they give their consent to join the group. You have to look into the legal part also. Let's say if you're using Facebook along with WhatsApp, and in the terms you have clearly mentioned that you are going to join the group where I'm going to share more information about how you can save 1 year of your career, something like that. So they are giving a consent to join their group. Once they're given a consent to join their group, in that group, make sure that you have a proper admin rights, so that not everyone can keep on just sending messages. Otherwise it can become a fight there. Anyone can share any political or religious insensitive messages there. It can be a problem. So it's better that you don't allow the user to post any contents or any messages there, and you only post it. You should build up upon your conversation again in WhatsApp also. It should not be direct selling. First you talk about how we are helping it up exactly. Maybe you can have some good kind of guided sessions with them in terms of webinars conducted for some neat tips and tricks, helping them talking them about the market dynamics, how they should safeguard themselves from the or from the scams happening in the market, where it is do's and don'ts of a travel in the COVID-19 scenario, these things, so that you can build up a trust. Then you post about your university and selling, then the chances of buying, chances of getting enrolled through you is always higher. Now already I can see we already have somewhere on more than 50 participants in this WhatsApp, in this webinar group also. If all of you are doing the same thing, so it is all your effective communication which you are going to have, which is going to get you a conversion. That's one. Second thing is that you can always also invite people to join your WhatsApp group through SMS or through mail also. So these things you must follow in WhatsApp. In WhatsApp communication nowadays, you all have experienced this. There are so many images and videos moving the ways all around. So is it good enough for us just to keep on sharing videos one after the other? No, it is not. You should build up, take a pen and a paper and note down exactly that what are the communications you are going to do on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6 till 20 days. Okay, and then note down exactly completely, and then do the communication only as per that schedule. Don't just, I got something, let me just share it to everyone. It doesn't work. So if you are doing a scheduled communication and you are building upon on the responsive which you are getting it from your target segment, then it helps prepper. And if let's say if within the WhatsApp group you are not allowing user to post any kind of messages there, then you in the group description itself you should mention the number on which they can call to find more information. Okay, so these things are very, very important that you should follow in WhatsApp, because now WhatsApp, as everyone is using it, it has also become like a mode of mass communication. Very soon it may lose the relevance if people don't pass off right communication at the right time here. So do follow these things within the WhatsApp communication. It will help you out. And there are a lot of bots also. If you are using a WhatsApp business account, you may be knowing about lots of bots. Let's say if you are booking up a ticket with Make My Trip or with किसी से भी कहीं से भी आप टिकट बुक करते हैं, तो you may get an automatic bot there. If you reply 1 if you want to book a seat, reply 2 if you want to book additional baggage allowance, okay, type 3 if you want to book a meal. If you book one, then if you type one, automatically a response will come. So these all automated messaging can also be set. These are known as bots, which business accounts are having in the WhatsApp. So you can use it up. I would advise that all of you, as already in the business, you must use business account. It helps you in creating and gives a trust also on the user that it's not a scam or a spam going on anywhere. Okay. Then we are talking, yeah. So there are some other things. Now let's look at, anyways, I'll not go more into these numbers and all. We all know that we have been using WhatsApp on a daily basis, and WhatsApp communication can happen in multiple languages that you can do. And WhatsApp, you can send messages to any part of the world. These all things are there. So it is on you to decide what message or what tool you're going to use it up completely. Then definitely WhatsApp, we have been benefiting more because it's free, it's a powerful tool. You can do, you can share brochures, videos. I would suggest you please don't share a big file size to any of the person, otherwise they feel really irritated to download and to read it. It's better share it exactly of smaller size you can do. Second thing is that if you have uploaded that on our website, you can share the link so that they can just go to your website, and definitely it will increase your website traffic also, and they will be able to read it also. Videos upload on your YouTube channel and share the link. Don't share the video as it is, otherwise not everyone may be having enough data. As everyone is work from home, everyone is working using data nowadays. And content what you are sharing is very, very important. So you must have a habit of preparing a timetable, a schedule of the content which you are going to share to your target group on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that, so that it helps. Or week 1, week 2, week 2, if you want to do. I'll tell you, we did some teachers workshop through webinar. I think a lot of few of you may be a part of it also. So in that case, as we were doing that workshop only for 12th grade teachers in the PCB, physics, chemistry, biology. So I invited them to join the WhatsApp group through SMS and through email also. And we already had a schedule that first day what we are going to schedule before the webinar, what we have to share to them. On the webinar day, what we have to share to them. Let's say before the webinar, we gave them a pre-read material which they have to read before they come to the session. On the webinar day, we share them the webinar content, as well as we share them the feedback forms which they have to fill it and send to us, the link for that. Then after the webinar, we shared them the presentation which we have already uploaded at our one place, okay, and the video link. Then we ensure that every week we used to share them one educative content in terms of what is happening in the educational world, okay, which can really make an impact on the life of my target group, right? Let's say if I am having a WhatsApp group of only the student, now I'm going to share to them only one question per day of physics, isn't it? Or one question per day of chemistry or biology, okay, with some tips and tricks. That's going to help me. Next day, if I am really relevant, my target group is going to wait for my question to be posted, so that he can just solve some new questions out of it, because it's going to help him to get his or to practice more for the NEET. It's coming free. It's not like Vedantu or Baiju where they have to pay. So you must be looking into what kind of a content you are providing, okay, and that can help you up. So just follow all those things and it will be really good. Okay, coming to the next point on WhatsApp tools. Anyway, there are lots of tools. I don't want to get into too much into these tools. There are lots of tools which allows you to send bulk messaging. A lot of you may be getting messages here and there. Get a tool, send 100,000 messages. You can check for those tools that can help you up. But please make sure that it will always block your number if you send multiple messages. And the current surveillance system, you have to be careful what you're using. So that's on your understanding what you want to use on this. Okay. Coming to Facebook, Facebook doing only Facebook ad definitely is not a good idea because it may have some sort of a problem. So, and as I already told you that there are a lot of the impression rates within most of our target Mr. Jaswal, I think you want to ask a question. I'll come back to you. I just left with only 2 or 3 more slides. Then I'll take up questions from you, please. Mr. Siddharth Jaswal. Okay. Coming to the point again, Facebook users definitely has been increasing, but putting a Facebook ad looks good. It can make me feel happy, but I'm not going to get a lead out of it now, because definitely as the impressions are less across the digital platform. Impression का मतलब होता है how many times my ad is being displayed based upon my target group which I have selected in a particular platform. Let's say on Facebook I may have selected I want to show the ad, let's say only in Coimbatore or only in Bangalore, okay, to the age group of, let's say, 18 to 22, having an interest into medical education. Okay, so I now once I post this ad with a daily budget of so and so, how many times is going to be visible to my target group? That is known as impression. Okay, so the impression across all the platforms have come down. It's a proven fact. Even you can do some Google research on that, you will find it exactly. So when the impressions have gone down, that means the chances of you getting a qualified lead is less. So should we go and do a similar kind of a Facebook advertisement which we did in 2019 again this year? That's the point, has to be understood. If your territory is giving you qualified lead, it's good. But if my territory is not giving me qualified lead in the amount of money I've been spending, I will not do it. It's better I will do something else. It's better I'll do some targeted marketing. Targeted marketing such as I can create custom audience campaigns. I'll come back to it, how we do custom audience campaigns, or I will try to conduct these kind of webinars and stream it live on Facebook so that I have more and more participants joining me, listening to me, and definitely I can engage with them with some valuable content. That's one part. Second thing is that I can make sure that I join multiple groups which are available of my target group across my target territory, so that I can discuss with them relevant content. That is very, very important, because I don't want to discuss irrelevant content. I will not post admission open now to them, because again the same marketing communication strategy comes into picture, right? Because you cannot just communicate to them regarding come and join for admission when they know that they're going to prepare for NEET now. So your marketing communication is very, very important, what you're going to post. Okay, so we can post in any of these groups which are free, which they allow you. If they are gated groups, they will, you have to get a permission from the admin and join. If they will not allow you to join as a consultancy, join as a personal account, so that you can join them and still you can keep on seeing what is happening. If I'm joining, someone is sharing number, I'll take a pen and a paper and note down the number of the guy, so that I know I can use it for calling him further after the NEET exam is done, so that I can catch him. Okay, but there are a lot of things, a lot of ways you are already doing it, so you can see what you can do further. The other way around, mainly which we are talking about on Facebook, is a custom audience. See, custom audience is that, let's say if I'm already having my customer list, and my customer list defines the behavior of my customer, right? Defining the behavior of my customer means I know my customer is mainly, let's say, coming from Kanpur. Okay, my customer also I know is mainly coming from Kanpur, Dehat only. Okay, and most of them, let's say their parents are farmers. Okay, but most of the students would have studied in Lucknow. Okay, and all of them may be knowing or maybe loving Chaggu ke laddu. Anyway, I visited Kanpur, I bought the Chaggu ke laddu. Maybe if you are also aware of, it's a famous sweet of Kanpur. So I'll just give you an example exactly, that all of them may be loving Chaggu ke laddu. So that means it gives me the traits of my customer. Now, if I'm uploading those customers on Facebook, it basically finds the common traits of my customer and try to find similar kind of a customer, similar kind of a user in Facebook and display my ad to them. Got it? So I'm not saying that I'm going to display my ad to anyone who is in the age group of 18 to 25. I'm going to display my ad only to all of them in the age group of 18 to 25 who are having these all behavioral traits. Okay, So when they're talking about these are behavioral traits, that means I know that they are all my prospects who all may be coming from a Loyola college or a Hindu college, or who all may be coming from a specific school. Okay. So if you have been doing this kind of a selling for last so many years, right? So you know the list of your customers who have already got an admission from your consultancy. So you need to prepare a list. You can give it to the agency who is handling the Facebook account for you, or you want to do it yourself, you can do it yourself also. There are a lot of tutorials available. You can create custom audience. Okay. And you can upload it on Facebook. Once you upload it on Facebook, then definitely your ad is going to be visible only to those users who are relevant, or who have the high chances to become a customer at your end. So keep that in mind. So you can use custom audience properly. Using custom audience, showing the ad to them, ad having a proper CTA is very, very important. Again, I'm talking about, every time I'm talking about CTA now, because CTA means what is a user going to do when he sees your ad. If he want to call you, then do have a call to action button. Okay. Or is he going to make an inquiry by clicking inquire now? If he clicks on inquire now, will he come to my landing page? If he's coming to my landing page, that is my web page where I'm going to collect information, not my home page, not the first page of my website. I'm talking about a specific page which is only targeted towards collecting information of the user. Okay. But that page should have a similar message which is there on my ad page, on my ad also. I cannot talk about I'm giving you 20% scholarship in my ad. When it comes to my web page where is going to fill the information, it is written no scholarship available. So it's a D-link. So this all you have to follow. You have to make sure that you have the same set of the language, same set of a communication in your ad and your CTA options. Okay. And preferable if you can maintain the same color combination. It is easy for an eye of a user to read through it, and to mainly to pass through from one page to the other. So keep these things properly, then you can definitely use it up. So this is one thing which you can use, and it can help you. These are all the things which you can use your database for doing it, because your custom audience list will come only on databases. Next point is basically what is your prospect, as we discussed about how is it going to work around. Awareness, consideration and conversion phase is going to only work upon because your customers are not going to know you, that you exist. So what you're going to talk to them, you talk about yourself, then you talk about your product. Okay. Then you talk about how it's going to have a better return of investment, and definitely it can convert. This is the ideal journey of a customer, of a buyer in a Facebook funnel. Okay. There are a lot of free Facebook marketing tools, which I think Navneet can give you more details when you're talking to him separately also. DrumUp, Likealizer, Canva, Facebook Power Editor, Headline Analyzer, Timeline Content Manager. There are some of them which you can also explore more on it, which can help you. Okay. So these are some of the points I wanted to discuss with you, mainly in terms of now it is an action time, because all those discussion about lockdown and the problems are over, and as the NEET examination dates are also declared, so it's all about that how we have to start executing our marketing campaigns. That is very, very important. Executing an effective marketing campaign, having a better return of investment with low cost. Simple. That's our underlying formula for us, for you, for everyone who is going to be in the market. And I would really suggest that there are two ways of thought. One way of a thought is to be stagnant and decline and see कि इस साल तो कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, देखते हैं अगले साल करेंगे. Second way of a thought is to have a growth prospect and to look into what new I can do so that I can still get my customer. आप जिस तरीके का थॉट को अपने माइंड में रखना चाहते हैं, your business strategy goes in which kind of a plan is very, very important. They are the only way how you can really be successful in this scenario, because I feel even in our entire group, including all our managers, Navneet, Abhishek, Pavan, Manoj, Prasant, all of them, we all, I feel that it is only this tough time which has brought us more opportunity. Otherwise, we would have not had interacted so much with all of you also. It's good that we have been interacting with so many of you. So just make sure that you follow these things and you are successful. Request you to kindly fill the feedback of this also, feedback of the webinar, so that it will be easier for us to get some more insights, and then we can definitely work better for you. I am open to take few questions from all of you. So you can, maybe you can unmute yourself, or you can send me a chat message. I can just respond back to it, please. Okay, I'm if anyone having any thing to ask, I'm open for it. I can definitely give you up some good thoughts on what we want to do.
So I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, please. If you can tell me your name, then I can take it up from there.
Yeah, my name is Siddharth Jaiswal.
Yeah, Mr. Jaiswal.
Yeah, my question is, like you told us that in landing page we can make some CTA which will allow the user to join our WhatsApp group.
Yes, yes.
So in the WhatsApp broadcast group, I think we can add only 256 members. Suppose we have got 1,000 members, then how to go about it?
See, I would, Mr. Jaiswal, this problem we also face. So we segregated them. That's why we said database arrangement, how we are doing is very important. If you can segregate based upon, let's say, the interest level or the city level, it can help you. So if
How to do it? Can you explain with a
Yes,
example?
sir. What I can do exactly. So you can use multiple links of WhatsApp group invitation. Okay, one group you can, let's say, for the first few days you use one group invitation. Second, the next few days you use the second group invitation, so that you segregate them. Let's say group 15th of May to 20th of May, group 21st of May to 25th of May. This is the only thing which you can do, because otherwise you cannot have n number of users in the WhatsApp group. That is the limitation which the WhatsApp is having already. So you can change your group links in every 5 days of a time. If you find that you are getting 300 response in one day itself and joining the WhatsApp group, change it the next day. There's no problem.
Which is a good tool for WhatsApp marketing? You showed us one tool. I used that tool, but all my numbers are blocked now.
I told you that is possible. If you have been using this kind of free tools or this kind of tools which have been using mainly in the election years, we'll all have all a number blocked. See, there are second ways. Let's say if you want to spend some money, there's one thing known as Twilio or Gupsup. They are some of the companies which provide transactional messages. Transactional messages, that means
SMS.
Transactional messages on WhatsApp they provide to you, but for every messages they will charge you. For every message which you send, and for every message which you send and receive, they will charge you. But it will make sure that your numbers are not getting blocked, because that is official, because they have to pay some money to WhatsApp also for that. So you can use some of these things. Let's say Twilio, I'll type for you in the group itself. Twilio is there, Gupsup is there. Apart from that, there are a lot of others also which provides WhatsApp integration. WhatsApp integration, okay, so that can help you up to set up your business WhatsApp account, and it can within the website itself you can go for WhatsApp integration and WhatsApp chat from there. So you can check some of these tools, but they will be transaction. That means for every messaging you'll have to pay for it. It will no more, it will not be free. But if we are using any of these tools which we have been also sometimes using for sending broadcast messages, the chances of your number getting blocked will be always high. Okay.
Which is a good CRM according to you?
See, these all are UCM, Unified Communication Messaging Tools. Twilio, Gupsup. There are a lot of Indian companies also which do provide that exactly. They provide you within one platform. You can do WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, chat, all these thing activity using one platform you can do.
No. So what I'm asking you, which is a good CRM?
CRM you use for inquiry management?
For everything. I want to use a single CRM for database marketing, inquiry
Yes.
management, lead
Okay.
generation?
If I look into cost wise, we have been using, let's say we use Lead Square. Lead Square is an Indian company, and it provides us with all sorts of support, whatever we need. Since we have users spread all across the world, it provides us support in multiple time zone also. So Lead Square is there. If you want to go for a slightly cheaper version, then Zoho is there, ZOHO. And they provide a lot of integration. That means they can integrate your Facebook campaigns, Google campaigns, landing pages, forms, feedback, everything will be there, and messaging also. So for small users, let's say if you have only 10 users and all, I would suggest you can go either with Zoho or Lead Square, because they don't cost a lot for limited plans. Okay.
What do you think about the
Yes,
market this year?
We are optimistic. We as we have been getting payment for this week also, so we are optimistic. Yes, definitely. If you try to push the students to travel, you may lose the market. You cannot push them to travel. That is very sure. So you have to be playing carefully with what is possible, and where anything which should not put the life and the health of a student in danger. That should be the only option. But the market is wide open, because a doctor dream is not going to die. Keep that in mind. World is in need of more and more healthcare professionals and doctors. So people, the students still want to become doctor, and they want to become much more bigger doctor, because जिस तरीके से सारा marketing हुआ है इंडिया में regarding the frontline warriors, now doctors are much more respected profiles now. So demand is high. It's just that you have to play safe. That's one thing. Secondly, you have to ensure that you give them a confidence that fine, they will not lose up their academic year, and they can maybe they can do the first year in India itself, or 9 months in India itself. Then only they can travel. There are some of the options which you have to go through it. Then only you'll be having the market. Otherwise, if you post that no, you have to go to Ukraine, you have to go to Guyana, you will lose it. They will not go. That's for sure. क्योंकि बच्चा सेफ रहे तब डॉक्टर बने ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, रादर कि बच्चा अनसेफ रहे फिर डॉक्टर पता नहीं बन पाएगा कि नहीं बन पाएगा, राइट? So that's the point with it as well. Okay.
One more question is that I'm getting a lot of SMS saying that database of NEET for 2019 is available. Database of NEET for 2020 is available. So this database is genuine or fake? Do you have any idea?
That is totally depending upon your judgment. But we also buy databases from those vendors also. But definitely there are certain due diligence which you have to do, because since we have databases for last so many years, so we'll first take a sample. Then once you have taken a sample, we'll compare with this with previous year databases, whether it is matching, not matching. If it is matching, that means somebody is sending me an old database, right? Then I don't need to buy that. Or I'll take a sample, I'll do a cold calling to all those databases to find out whether it is right or not. All the details, including the name, email address, phone number, city, whatever details that it's provided in a sample. If they have done, then if you have verified all the details and you find that yes, it is genuine, then you buy.
Actually, the problem is that a sample is always correct. Okay. And when we buy the database, it turns out to be fake.
Then you don't make a scattered payment services as well. Don't pay him all the money together. No. May pay, let's say 15%, 20% advance, take the database, check on it. If it's okay. If it's a trusted partner, he can wait. If he also is a fake, he will not wait. So that way you can do. But definitely there are a lot of databases available. और आज अगर कोई चीज 1 लाख में मिल रहा है तो 15 दिन के बाद वो 5,000 में मिल जाता है.
Right.
Market ऐसा ही है.
Right. So
thank you, Mr. That's all.
Last question.
Yeah.
Have you purchased the database of 2019 or 20, and is it correct or fake? Just give me an idea.
I would not lie. I can't comment on that, but we have been getting a lot of databases, and a lot of our business associates have been buying databases and also sharing with us for doing activities. But so far, our experience with databases have been good. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Jaswal. Thank you. Mr. Arun Bapna, you were talking about how do we use premium domains for marketing. We can use premium domains. Premium domains basically are the ones which are with catchy names. So if you are using premium domain, then it was always easier because it is having a good keyword search also on Google and Facebook. It is always visible first if you're using that into your campaign. So you can look into the but premium domains are always expensive. You have to keep that in your mind. So depending upon your cost benefit analysis when you do, then you can plan up for that.
I hope my voice is audible.
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Okay. Just wanted to know, suppose if we are using premium domains, in that case, do you feel like the sufficient number of leads we can get to cover the cost of these premium domains?
No, I definitely, the world is very uncertain now, so it will be difficult to comment because as I told you, we have so many domains ourselves, and our research clearly states that the impressions have gone down. It will increase further the moment you approach near to the NEET examination. Now, if you look into, everyone was struggling to find about COVID-19. Everyone was only going to internet to find about how to break the lockdown fatigue, right? So now that is done. So premium domain, if you're buying now, and when you go closer to the NEET examination, definitely you will realize that the impressions are going to increase, the search is going to increase. Then it is going to give you a result, give you leads, result in leads only. Okay.
I understand, but even like we are not expecting results to be there in near say in next 4 or 5 or 7 days. Certainly, we are using or we wants to buy these premium domains for the longer time, because once you are using a premium domain, it's not like just it's not like just forwarding these premium domains.
Yeah.
It's basically we are using them, or like basically we use them for hosting a parking page or a particular page
Yes.
with the relevant content, and when the visitor comes, they get some proper information, and then they can be redirected to our main website.
Yes.
So like it's not only about buying, or it's not only about like getting the instant lead, but in longer term, do you feel like it is more useful, or like it is in general, like do you think like
Yeah.
it can cover the cost
Yeah,
of
Mr. Arun, let's say if I'm launching a new business today and I find that the name is very, very important for me and I'm very futuristic, it's an investment what to make for me. It's an investment which is what to make for me because I know that keyword is going to be searched for a longer time and it is having a future, right? So yes, I would, to your question, I would say yes, it is relevant for me that I can invest in premium domain because it's going to give me a far-fetched result, because it will put me, or it will give me an edge over competition, right? So that is
Okay.
good. Now, let's say if I'm having my company name is, let's say, ABC Consultant. Okay. If I have a website, abcconsultant.com, it may not be as good. Okay. But if I'm saying medicine in Guyana as one of the premium domain, let's say, which is available, let's imagine. So, and I know that in the future time, the search volume is definitely going to increase up and people are going to search more about medicine in Guyana. Then definitely it's an investment for me. I know anyone searches for medicine in Guyana will come to my domain and I can redirect to my company from there.
Okay.
Okay. It's a long time investment. Yes, it is good. But definitely you have to do your cost benefit analysis on that.
Do you use such techniques for promoting Takshila American University also?
I would, anyway, it will be too much of an inside information, but we would say we have almost 100 plus domains across the world.
Okay. Fine, sir. Thanks for the answer.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Arun. Okay. So if we don't have any further question, then I may like to end the session. Thanks a lot for all of you
Hello,
for being here. Yes, sir. Please tell me, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Naren this side.
Naren ji, bataiye.
In your slide, you mentioned about that awareness, conversion, and the last point was retention.
Yes, please.
So can you please explain me a bit again about?
Yeah, detention in our scenario, which I'm trying to discuss, is all about rehearse. That means reselling. Let's say if I've made an admission and I have made up a good relationship in terms of with the parent of the student also, then I know that he is from an influential group and he is already knowing few more parents who want to send their children for medicine or who are eligible for medicine. Okay, but they are still struggling. So I will like to talk to my parent and tell him that, see, you in your group you have few more students who are looking forward to take an admission. Why don't you help them so so that your child is also going to get a company, that he's going to have a friends along with him and they will all study together, and maybe you can get some rebate on the fee which you are paying. That is a financial part you can discuss with him. Okay, so this is more retention, in terms of how you are selling, multiplying your sales from one to multiple times from the same customer which you have got. या तो आप you made him a customer, you forgot about him, let him travel, and then you keep on servicing him. Second thing is that I keep on interacting with him and I give him some financial benefit and show him that it is a value to him, not only in terms of money, because it's not only about money, in terms of a child's benefit, then definitely it's going to be helpful. So my point of retention to this discussion is this.
Okay.
Yeah. So that helped. क्योंकि मैंने आपको last in webinar से I told you almost it's a scientific fact, 40 to 50% of our business of most of the companies in the education sector comes through reference.
Yeah, that is true. But like other consultants are doing,
yeah,
they are sending students to Ukraine and Russia, and to every student they send, they always make them the agents. So that is not correct, right?
Yeah. आप उनको एजेंट ना बनाएं, आप उनको बच्चे का बेनिफिट बताएं कि मेनली कि हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू बेनिफिट हिज चाइल्ड. ओके, आप उनको मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट ना देके कुछ आप और नॉन टेंजिबल बेनिफिट दें, ठीक है, सो दैट ही डज नॉट फील लाइक ओके ही इज ट्राइंग टू गिव मी सम मनी. So there are ways how you can handle these scenarios exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. If not, I'll just like to point one more thing exactly. On Monday, Navneet, if I'm right, on Monday only we are doing the next webinar. On Monday we are doing a webinar on Google Classroom with Jamboard. This webinar is mainly focused towards teachers and educators who wants to do this virtual learning, online teaching to their students. So we realize that a lot of teachers are facing problem into online teaching. Now the school are supporting sometimes, lot of times schools are not supporting. So we thought of to come on this topic on Google Classroom with Jamboard, jisme we can do classroom management on Google Classroom. We can see how we can do assessment, as well as we can see how we can have live classes being conducted by using audio, video and shared screen. Let's say I can draw, I can write a mathematical sum there, and I can teach to my student directly from there, like a live classroom, physical classroom. So we are conducting a webinar on that Google Classroom with Jamboard. So if you have any of your interest group who want to join, it's most welcome. You can also invite them. Navneet and other managers will share you that link. It can help you up, and it can help you up building up a trust in your territory also. So that's on Monday we are doing this webinar. Okay. Thanks a lot for you being with us. Thank you for all your time, and stay safe, please. Thank you.